Good morning, children. So yesterday we discussed about acids, how they are strong or weak, why they are strong, or why they are weak. When they are strong means if the number of hydrogen atom releases are more in number, they are strong. If the number of hydrogen release is less in number, they are weak acids. So strong acid is sulfuric acid, weak acid is acetic acid. Okay, the same way we discussed initially about salts. So salts are prepared by the combination of acids and bases. Okay. Now we will try to find some salts which are more useful for us. In our daily life we use a lot of them, and even it is in the industrial process we use a lot. So we are having 2 to 3 salts where we have to know how they are prepared, what are their importance in our daily life. So first we will start see whenever you prepare any substance or any chemical or any reagent or any acid, anything, we need raw materials. So in this case, one of the most important raw material is common salt or rock salt. Common salt or rock salt. Okay. So this is also called rock salt because this is actually obtained from the seawater. Seawater contains many impurities, many salts. From that seawater also we get common salt, which we call sodium chloride. But actually it is not in pure form. So that is impure form of sodium chloride will be brown in color. Impure form of NaCl. We call sodium chloride is which color? Brown in color. Okay. So when these will undergo different processes like iodization and all, the color changes to white. Okay. So this common salt or rock salt is used as a raw material to manufacture or to prepare many of the chemicals. Okay, raw material. So first we will try to find, see actually initially we try to find how sodium hydroxide is manufactured, or sodium hydroxide prepared by using a common salt as a raw material. Okay, so I'll write one simple example. You will know it. Acid plus base or base plus acid. What we get here? Salt and water. Okay, salt and water. Then again, is it possible to react NaOH plus HCl? Can we react this? Sorry, NaOH plus NaCl. Can the reaction possible? No, this reaction cannot be possible because this is a base, this is a salt. Most of the reactions like this, they are not are performed. So this actually what we do here, to manufacture sodium chloride, to manufacture sodium hydroxide, mainly we use this as raw material, sodium chloride and water. So reverse this. See, most of the reactions are reversible, few reactions are irreversible. Okay, so in that one is sodium chloride will take. Okay. This sodium chloride is used as raw material, but actually there are two words in your preparation of sodium hydroxide. One is brine. Okay. Then what is brine? So highly concentrated sodium chloride, highly concentrated aqueous solution of sodium chloride is called brine. Highly concentrated called aqueous solution of sodium chloride is called brine. So this brine we are using to manufacture sodium chloride. Okay. So how the reaction will take place? We'll see. So NaOH sodium chloride will take here. But in this there are two, I told that there are two important things. One is we take brine, and one is this brine will undergo electrolysis process. But why we will come to later. Sodium chloride will react with water. So this is actually aqueous solution of sodium chloride. We call aqueous. Okay. So this forms sodium hydroxide, water and chlorine. Sodium hydroxide plus H2O, okay, chlorine plus H2O. So these are the products. Now balancing part. I think it is balanced already. Hydrogen 2 atoms are there, hydrogen 3 atoms are there. So there is 2 chlorine atoms, so 2 chlorine atoms. Then 2 sodium, and here 2 sodium. Then again here 2 to the 4 hydrogen, 2H plus H2. So make it 2 here. Oxygen is 2. Oxygen is 2O plus 1. 4. Okay. So again there is little imbalance. Again we have to go for rebalancing. 2 to the 4. Correct it is. 2H plus 2H, 4. So this is called balanced equation. Okay. Stop. Okay, children. So once again I will write a reaction. Sodium chloride plus H2O, so which we call here brine. So this will undergo electrolysis. It forms sodium hydroxide, chlorine and hydrogen gas. Again balance 2, here 2, here it is 2, no, sorry. Two here. Okay. So mainly when brine undergoes electrolysis, but why electrolysis is needed? Is it needed? Why? Actually, just to take salt water and just to stir it, from that we cannot get sodium hydroxide. So again, to get the large quantity sodium hydroxide we want to miss, what we should do, that we have to supply extra energy. So that extra energy will be in the form of electric energy. Electric energy will be there, and this will be in a setup where this forms sodium hydroxide, chlorine and hydrogen. So this process is also called chlor-alkali process. Oh, chlor-alkali process. But why? Chlor means it releases chlorine at the end of anode. So chlorine is released at anode, chlor, and it forms sodium hydroxide. So that's what it's called. This sodium hydroxide is an alkali. So due to this the name chlor-alkali process we have. Okay, this is in large scale, because if we want to manufacture sodium hydroxide in large scale, we have to use this method. And here, this is commonly called caustic soda. Sodium hydroxide is also called caustic soda. So how do we prepare this? How it is manufactured? See, we take a beaker like this. Okay. and to this beaker we see, when you want to supply electrolysis, actually what is electrolysis, you know? When you supply electricity through the solution, there is decomposition. They all decompose. Actually, this when the brine undergoes electrolysis, they will decompose into sodium hydroxide, chlorine, and hydrogen gas. They come in the form of gases, and they are collected at different places. Okay. So that's why we use beaker. Take a beaker here. Okay. Because you are supplying electricity. What we need here to supply electricity? First we need electrodes, which are made up of, because we need two electrodes. Okay. Positive end and negative end. Positive is cathode, negative is anode. Okay. So these are again connected to a battery now. Okay. So again, what we take here? We take brine. From this side we supply brine in large quantity. There is brine. So when you supply electricity, actually what happens is there is reaction taking place and they all decompose. In this brine, when they undergo decompose, there is formation of what? Sodium ions, OH ions, Cl ions, and hydrogen ions. Okay. They all are formed because they undergo electrolysis. They all get separated, and actually what happens? Whichever is negative particle, they move towards the cathode, which is positive in nature. Okay. So from here, okay. So here, from here, the chlorine is released. Chlorine will come out from this place, and hydrogen is released from this place. Okay. So this part, suppose sodium is positive nature, hydrogen is negative nature. So reaction between sodium and hydrogen is not possible. Or reaction between sodium and chlorine is also not possible because sodium and chloride already decompose. So what happens here? Hydrogen, which is positively charged, that will move towards the negative electrode because it will gain electrons. It will gain electrons and it converts into hydrogen, and this will liberate outside. Okay. See, actually what happens, there is one more important thing here. There is a membrane here. In between these two electrodes there is a membrane. But why membrane? What is the importance of the membrane? See, all the particles will not move out. Membrane is very thinner in size, it has small pores. Only positive element, positive radical. Suppose sodium Na is positive. Na will move towards this part of the membrane because this part is negative anode is there. So sodium moves here. Other particles cannot be moved. So all of them are here only, but only sodium will move that side. Chlorine remains there, hydrogen remains there. So chlorine will gain the electron and that will convert into chlorine molecule and it will release out. So hydrogen will lose electron, it becomes hydrogen molecule and it is released outside. But these are again collected and they have industrial applications also. Okay. Here, so chlorine we are using, as you know very well, where disinfectant. Chlorine we are using as disinfectant and we are using in swimming pools. Okay. Then hydrogen. Hydrogen is used in making, we call margarine. What is margarine actually? You know, it is a artificial butter. Because artificial butter can be called as what? Margarine. Okay. So this is also used in making medicines also. Okay. So here we are making here also medicines. And again there is, from here also there is brine, which contains what? Brine will contain NaOH. So these are also important industrial uses. Stop. Children, see, when chlorine is released, that chlorine we are using as disinfectant, and we are using it in swimming pools also. Okay. And even hydrogen, when it released and at the anode, we used to make margarine, and this also used as fuel. Nowadays hydrogen is also used as fuel, and this brine containing sodium hydroxide, because see, here chlorine will go and settle on the cathode. It moves towards the cathode and it will become a molecule and it releases out. Hydrogen also will go towards the anode, that will convert into hydrogen molecule and it moves out. So remaining part is sodium hydroxide. They both will combine and form NaOH. Means this brine contains NaOH. So this, which is the left out brine, which is having sodium hydroxide, is used in making papers. Okay. So even we make degreasing material, removing the grease which is applied, degreasing material. Okay. So in this way, this we are using in many industrial purposes. Sodium hydroxide plays very important role. Okay. And one more important thing is, sodium hydroxide is corrosive in nature. That's why I told sodium hydroxide is strong base. Strong acid is there should be a strong base. So strong acid is H2SO4 for strong base is sodium hydroxide or caustic soda. Okay, thank you.